Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the path of the World Tree Barbarian in Baldur's Gate 3. This is part of the Barbarian 2024 with World Tree and Zealot by Marissa50 here. This mod brings the Barbarian up to their 2024 Player's Handbook edition, and it improves on some of the different features of this. One of the big things here is, again, the World Tree Barbarian, which gives it the ability to provide a bit of support for your team with healing. Upon hitting level 6, we get an extra crowd control using branches to bind targets in place and also pull them towards ourselves. And then once we hit level 10, it doubles the range of our melee attacks, which is pretty cool. They're also looking at different ways to do this differently in the future to make it match the 2024 Player's Handbook a bit more, but I'll be taking you through a full build here. Now, starting off at level 1 here, the stat spread, I like to go with a bit higher strength. However, if you really want to min-max it, you'd use a strength potion and put those strength points into your wisdom for the saves. However, I also like to go with a dexterity base Barbarian. If you wanted to throw on a shield and use like Valor or Louvre, you can actually do that with dexterity and get your armor class up to like 30 pretty easily. Although you don't always want your armor class high as a Barbarian, as you want to draw enemies' attacks to your character. But I think that going with like 14 strength, 16 dex, and 16 constitution works well too, and if you don't want to go with the higher strength. And an elixir of Cloud Giant strength instead of 27, which is a lot higher. And whenever we hit level 2, this gives us our reckless attack here, which does it gives us advantage on attack rolls, so we're more likely to hit targets. We also get advantage on dexterity saving throws, so we're less likely to get hit by like things like fireball and other dexterity saves. Now, once we get to level 3, this is when we get to take the path of the World Tree. Barbarians who follow the path of the World Tree connect with the cosmic tree Yggdrasil through their rage. This tree grows among the outer planes, connecting them to the material plane. These barbarians draw on the tree's magic for vitality and means of dimensional travel, kind of like a Thor and Norse mythology theme to it. Now we get the Vitality Surge here. Your rage taps into the life force of the World Tree. This will give you however many levels you are. Like at level 20, it gives you 20 temporary health when you rage, and you also get the life-giving force. Now this is a class action that you can do for free, and you can do it every turn for free, which is kind of funny how powerful this can end up being. And it's going to add an additional 2d6 of healing, and this actually levels up as you increase with your rage damage. So the higher the rage damage, that's how many die you're going to be using. Right now we have 2 rage points. So yeah, this is actually a pretty good ability for free every single turn. And we get to take skill proficiencies in survival, animal handling, or nature. I'd recommend going with survival. And with the primal knowledge here, whenever we're in our rage, we get the ability to add our strength modifier to acrobatics, intimidation, persuasion, stealth, or survival. And this is kind of a cool ability, so you can build around strength. I'm using the strength potion there too, obviously, to make it a little bit more powerful. Level 4 here, we can go with the alert feat. We do get more initiative as a barbarian, so it's not always necessary, and you can go with an increase to your attacking stat here. I also am a big fan of the Savage Attacker. Rerolling your damage die is really nice. Also want to mention there are some changes to how the Barbarian plays with the 2024 Player Handbook update here. So that's something to keep in mind. We also get our fast movement and extra attack here at level 5, which is really nice. And once we get to level 6, we get our branches of the tree, which is a reaction. This summons spectral branch of the World Tree around a creature within 9 meters of you. They must do a strength saving throw or be teleported to an unoccupied space within 2 meters of you. After the target teleports, you can reduce their movement speed to 0. So yeah, they can be just locked down in place right beside you. It's kind of cool ability. Level 7 gives us our Feral Instinct, plus 3 to initiative, can't be surprised, and an Instinctive Pound. As part of the bonus action you take to enter your rage, you are granted half your movement speed. This is new in 2024 Player's Handbook for Barbarians. We also get something else at level 9 in a moment here. Our next feat, I still like Alert. Giving a +5 initiative is nice, but you don't have to go with that. You can go with, if you're not increasing strength with a strength potion, go with a dexterity potion. We can take that up higher, or Constitution. Once we get to level 9, we get these new attacks. So these replace the brutal strikes. You don't get the extra critical hit. Kind of unfortunate, but this gives you like a forceful attack, which knocks enemies back. This also adds an additional 1d10 of damage. And this can't be used with advantage or disadvantage. You can use one of these per turn. It's kind of cool. This one will reduce target's movement speed or pushing back. It's nice. I do think a critical hit die is also really nice, but that's just the 2024 Player Handbook update. Once we get to level 10, we get the Battering Root's Reach. During your turn, your reach is 3 meters greater with any melee attack that has the heavy or versatile property, as the tendrils of the World Tree extend around you. We also get the Topple here when you hit any melee weapon against an enemy that is either heavy or versatile. They must do a DC 8 strength modifier, constitution bonus saving throw, or else you will knock the target prone as well. And we also got the push, which we can push back targets 3 meters. So yeah, you got the options there to do a bit of extra crowd control with your melee attacks. Kind of cool. Level 11 basically lets you stand back up if you go down with 1 health point. Level 12 gives us our Brutal Strike Sundering Blow, which gives a -5 to the attack roll for the next attack roll against it, or -5 to AC, so you have an easier time hitting that target. And then this one will make it so they can't do opportunity attacks, basically a disengaging blow for your team. These are again added to all Barbarian subclasses while using this mod, so if you want to play a Throw Zerker, you can go ahead with that. Now, once we get to past here, I really like the Lucky feat. You can go with, again, Alert or an increase to our major attacking stat or Constitution there. Those all work well. I'll also take this up to level 20. And we get the extra brutal critical here. This is from the level 13 to 20 mod. I don't think it actually is able to change that, but this does have level 20 support. Once we get to level 14, we get the Travel Along the Tree. As a bonus action while your rage is active, you can teleport 18 meters. Basically a Misty Step using Yggdrasil. Pretty cool. We also get the Mass Travel Along the Tree, so as a bonus action once per rage, you can teleport 45 meters with up to 6 allies. After casting this, another spell will appear in your hotbar that automatically teleports everyone. Casting on someone will not do everything. So, just a heads up on that. Pretty cool ability though, giving that extra teleporting. Level 15 gives us the Persistent Rage. You only fall if you choose to stop your rage, so you can always be raging. Level 16 gives us another feat. At this point, I think the Lucky feat or Tough are our best options. We can take Tough at the next level to get 40 extra health. It's very good. Brutal Critical 3 at level 17, a little moist critical action there. Level 18 gives us our Indomitable Might. Add your Strength modifier to Strength ability checks and Strength saving throws. Cool. So yeah, it's another nice ability for our subclass here that's actually for all different subclasses, so depending on what you're playing, if you want to use the Berserker, you'd also get that. Level 19, we're going to go with Tough. This is just a good choice. Since we're tanky, health is a resource, use it. And then level 20, basically we get Infinite Rage. And I do have gear that sets our Constitution and Strength up here, but you do get a +4 to each of those stats when you reach level 20, but not if, obviously it's a little higher. And this is the Armor of the Worthy by Scurby. I'll quickly go over gear. I notice a lot of people don't watch these sections of my mod video, so I'll just do rapid fire. Some people actually ask for more information, but Horns of the Berserker in the late game, Haste Helm in the early game. We'll go with the Cloak of Protection. Late game, the Vest of Soul Rejuvenation. If you're using Tavern Brawler with like Nyrulna, this can work great because you get an unarmed attack. Otherwise, we're going to want to really use any other type of robe. You can get the Graceful Cloth in the early game, or even the Cat's Grace, which is a nice option too. I have the Crater Flesh Gloves. When we get a crit, we get an initial 2d6. It says 1d6, so this is great because we're going to be going for crits here, and we can actually do crazy damage with that. Hellless Gloves work well too, or even something like the Justiciar Gauntlets. I have the Hellless Boots on. If you wanted to, you can go with the Disintegrating Nightwalkers there from the early game, but Helldusk is a good choice too. I also got the Ring of Free Action for difficult terrain does not slow us down. We can run through it, no worries. And Caustic Band for a bit of extra damage. I also have the Hellrider Longbow for the +3 to our initiative. And then the Baldur's Giant Slayer, the best strength-based weapon, doubling our strength modifier, pretty crazy stuff. And the Amulet of Greater Health, which gives us a 24 armor class, pretty crazy. 2 from our chest armor, 1 from our cloak, +6 from Constitution, +5 from Dex, and 10 base. I also want to mention that in previous, like really early when the game first came out, it used to mention when weapons are heavy, but this basically will be any two-handed type of weapon. So yeah, that's something just to keep in mind because you're going to be using that for our Battering Roots Topple and Push Attack. And what's cool is those extra attacks scale up to 2d10 later on. So we actually do some pretty respectable damage. But the thing is, we got to get into our rage here with our Vitality Surge. So we're going to pop this, get into our rage form right off the bat. And this is, again, going to give us that temporary health, 20, equal to our character level. And we get the Instinctive Pounce. That gave us extra movement speed, which is kind of crazy. So we're actually pretty mobile in the first turn of combat. It's almost like you use a like mini dash attack. But the many different options we got are pretty fun. Like, honestly, I like any type of pushback you can get from a build. Unfortunately, you triggered the opportunity attack there. We'll just take it. It's fine. The thing is, whenever you got this pushing attack here, you can sometimes get lucky with that. And if you don't take him out with the attack animation, you're going to swing and batter up, knock him off just like that. So, yeah, you can do an extra attack. You don't use it once per turn, but I guess basically if you have haste, you can use all of these. I'm just going to go ahead with this attack here. I'd be using these often. The attack animations are really cool for them as well. So, yeah, we chopped him down. And I guess, yeah, you can only use 2 per turn, I guess. I should use the giant form from this weapon here, but yeah, the Baldur's Giant Slayer is pretty strong of a weapon because it's going to add that strength modifier twice. You can see there, we're hitting targets quite hard. I'll try to arrow many targets. Yeah, mod's still broken, so it's not going to work properly. We don't want to get too close to the enemy here. Even in the branches of the tree, which are kind of cool, but this uses your reaction. It might be better to save it and see if it's something you may need. Yeah, we'll just go with, I guess, a regular weapon attack here and roll the free crit. And this is why we got lucky. Sometimes it's good just to prevent an attack from it hitting us, and then we can pop off with our greater Kashiko counter. Although it looks like you're using the blade there, we're actually not using the blade, but that uses our reaction. I got knocked out of my rage by calm emotion, so I gotta pop that down again. And yeah, I guess on our next turn, we're gonna use a couple of these here. Again, I love that forceful blow for the pushback. Just gonna be mindful where it's going. The -5 to an enemy's attack or armor class is also pretty crazy stuff too. And we also have the travel along the tree. I haven't even really used this too much, but you got that free teleport here. You have the free life-giving force you can use per turn. So it's actually kind of crazy with what you can do for your team. That's not usually the focus of a barbarian. They're more of like a tank in your face and deal with it type character. But yeah, it's pretty strong. And the hamstring blow is really nice if you're hunting down a target. The one that's going to remove opportunity attacks, good if you need to get away from a target. But yeah, you can see here, we're actually doing some pretty nuts damage against targets. We ran out of health, but we got our life-giving force here, so I can give Shadowheart some temporary health. So you got 6 extra temporary health, kind of nice. And then you can also use the travel along the tree if you needed some extra mobility, which is really great because yeah, it's actually quite a bit. I'll show off the branches of the tree here. So what's nice about this is you can use this as a crowd control option, and you can pull them in towards yourself. So yeah, you can see there, we're actually locking them down. See, saved on it, unfortunately. That's the way it goes, a little bit of lag, and then we'll just go with an attack here, and hopefully we'll take out that. Yeah, we got him, and we'll take out this one here next. Booyah! And one last target left to deal with, and we got our forceful blow to push him back and end it all right here. So yeah, I love that attack animation. It's really fun. So that is the Barbarian 2024 with World Tree by Marissa50. Really cool mod. Excited that this is now available on console. And for those that enjoy the 2024 Player's Handbook updates, there's a lot of them. So you can try out all the different Barbarian subclasses and you'll have a great time. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.